Hi, got some cigarettes again, but I definitely cut down videos. Making videos become a trigger. But anyway, so I thought of this on reality. Imagine there's an apple. It's sitting right next to you. It looks like a real apple. If I tell you that, you probably would presume it was a real apple. Why not? Okay. Let's say I told you that I remembered such a thing yesterday, and it was on, it was by the pool, and it was the third table down. You probably believe that, but, it might have been the fourth table down. It was the opposite side of the pool. Depends. Okay. So when I'm sitting next to the pool and I see a real apple, I'm thinking, well, is it edible? Should I eat it? Okay, and so this is the point where the import changes. When you're asking yourself, is it really an apple? You got these traditional questions of reality, which are all formed around what is, but we know there's problems with what is. Things are always changing. What is, there's a model there that doesn't quite fit how the world is, either the way we experience it or on the fundamental levels. If you translate that over into action, like should I eat the apple, you also start to bring in more sets of perceptions. It's not just what it is, it's sitting there, it is an apple. No, it's like, well, what's the middle of its behavior? What happened before? How to get there? Right? I mean, if I brought the apple and put it there, the question is different. The question of should I eat it is different than if somebody else had just sitting at the next seat over had just left it. Or if it's a friend that brought it for us or didn't bring it for us, but I figured that, these kinds of issues matter in whether I eat the apple. And I would submit that if I was looking out over the pool and a light appeared and it turned into a tasty looking apple and floated over and sat down to me, that's in the probably not edible category. It might be more reason to go ahead and try to eat it, though, to test. And I'll be in a situation to know which of those three is happening, right? If I try to eat the apple and then it runs away, and was it a real apple? It's like, in terms of your actions, the actions are not entirely based on that. Like, if it's an imaginary apple and you try to eat it, it won't get eaten. If it's somebody else's apple and you try to eat it and they come back, it might not get eaten, right? So it's not to say that it isn't important to figure out which parts of something might have been a personal vision or not. It's just that really those issues, as deep as they can seem, they tend to resolve out, right? The terms cancel out, and you don't have to take that into account with your moment-to-moment decisions of what to do about experiences. The reality of an experience, if you visualize skateboarding down some complicated set of steps, it's not going to be exactly like you're visualizing. The real question is, should you do it? And, and at the end you make it and it's not exactly like you visualize it. It might be better or worse or the same but in character but different in the fact that you couldn't literally imagine every exact thing. It's easily always a fantasy thing. Oh, look at that impossible thing. I could do that. Ching, and you go off, and then amazingly enough, some people do it. Now, is that a fantasy? A lot of people try, and it turns out to be a fantasy, and they don't make it. You know what I'm saying? So, now the third paradigm for this is, let's say that I come down to the pool and the apple's already there, and maybe even I did still leave it as one of the possibilities. Maybe I forgot. I came by in the morning, was carrying my apple, and I forgot. Is that the one I left? Or someone else left it. Or with nobody watching, it appeared over the pool and a burst of light and floated there. Oh, suddenly that's not an important question because we don't know that data. When we don't know things, sometimes we just go, well, they don't count because in the calculation because we can't know. So all we need to know is, is the apple real? And we have ways to test that. How? Interaction. What's that? That's creating new perceptions to add to this string, this long string. Now, having said all that, if you really want to know what is real, Yeah, you look at the long string. You fit things that fit in a long string of continuity that are tracked down, then you can get to the Sherlock Holmes level of quite a complete enough picture for whatever you're trying to figure out, right? The continuity in terms of what really happened. All right, cheers.